Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the worst fucking podcast you've ever heard. Both Mics.
Welcome to Both Mics. Both Mics is a show about nothing and everything. That is Mike Sofka.
And that is Mike Taylor. And together we are Both Mics. How are you?
Good. I thought we would have a minute for an intro. But apparently...
No.
Wait, never mind. We do have an intro. It just came up quicker than I thought. Yeah. Well, guys, welcome to show number 127 of Both Mics, heard everywhere. Podcasts can be heard. You name it, we're there. So find your favorite podcast place and find us there. Go to Alexa and say, Alexa, play Both Mics. And our scarlet velvet voices will come across the interwebs. So how are you, Mr. Sofka? How's things? Are you
just
focused?
Adjusting my camera a little bit.
Adjusting? Hello? Testing,
yeah,
1, 2.
Just anyway. All right.
Well,
how are you, man? This is show
good.
What? 127 already?
127. Yeah. It's an awful lot. I was actually thinking about it earlier when I was looking at the show prep, and I was like, God, we've said this intro 127 times. That's a lot of times.
Yeah, well, maybe we need to tighten it up or tune it up or something. What do you think? Think we need to change it?
It's the same thing I've been reading for, and you can see down here I have all the numbers.
The intro, introduction
127, 128. I have them, then I cross them off.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah,
right,
along with my Both Mic sticker.
You're crossing them off like lines on the wall in a jail cell.
In a jail, or like a chick does on the inside of an egg. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day.
Let's see here. I'm trying to.
Are you trying to
look here. I put in the Google box how many shows have less than 127 episodes.
Well, we got more shows than Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
We'll take that.
I mean, because a lot of TV shows, you got to think, I don't know where we stand in. I'm sure we're way down. Like, I listen to some other podcasters, they keep track of their episodes like that, and they're on episode like 2,500. And the guy's on like 2,500. Huh?
So 2,557.
Yeah, well, a lot of those people do more than one or two shows a week.
Right.
Five. They do a show every day, whatever.
Yeah.
So I got shows like that, but I'm doing 5 different things. So, hey, by the way, we're going to be introducing a new podcast to the family. We'll get video. We'll do all that. We'll be on the same platforms. So be on the lookout. It's going to be called Just Donna. JUSTDONNA. Just Donna. It's my sister, Donna Marini. And she's had some inspirational changes through her life. So it's really called Just Donna, from paralysis to positivity.
Cool.
So we'll be working on a project real soon here. You should see that in the next couple weeks.
Hopefully she'll have better internet than you.
Yeah. Well, we've already done some test stuff and already, setting things up, because it takes a while to do what I do. I gotta contact all these people. I gotta get it all plugged in and everything, because I want her to, come out of the box strong. So
cool.
She should. She's got a good story.
And I could vouch too. Mike's just saying it because it's his sister, but Donna's an awesome person, very inspiring person, and I would give it a shout, give it a shout, give it a listen, and interact.
Yeah. She started another a company as well. She has started a hospital for people with brain and spinal cord injuries, and she's done a lot of great things for having the situation she was dealt with. So anyway, now that I brought the show down to a screeching friggin' halt. Oh, good.
Yes.
That'll change the direction.
And you got babies.
Hey, what's that on your head? What do you got on your head?
Hey,
a sticker?
He doesn't even know he has it on there.
There's both of them. Hey.
Right?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Xander. Hey, Nikki.
He's like, why can't I hear? All right, guys. Scoot.
I see you're repping the New Jersey today. That's good.
Yes. Well, because my sister's actually here visiting too.
Mhm.
So, yeah. And I bought this at Newark Airport.
Nice.
Here's my
Hey,
sister.
Deb, how are you? You're in, you're out. You're like an alien.
Yeah, she's breaking my green screen in the back here. Boom. Shit's flying. That's why you can't see now. All right, bro. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, everybody else. Everybody else. Get that in for Daddy.
All right, while Mike's doing that, I do want to let you know, of course, it's fantasy football season coming up. So, just hit me up on Hall of Fame Fantasy Football. We're winning fantasy football. Check out the videos on YouTube. Check us out all over the place. On Facebook, the group Winning Fantasy Football. This is kind of what my real job is fantasy football. This podcast is great. I love doing it, but this is a second gig for me. Fantasy football is my first gig. My first gig is finding the right players for you, helping you in your draft. The draft is half of the process. So hit me up at halloffamefantasyfootball.com. Hit me up at winningfantasyfootball.com. I have a playoff guarantee. I can take you from zero to hero, from the outhouse to the penthouse. Check it out at Hall of Fame Fantasy Football or Winning Fantasy Football. All right, we straight, Mike?
Yeah. I ever tell you my football picking story?
No, go ahead.
All right. I used to be a manager for a supermarket, a department manager, and I had a part-timer who used to do the slip they have, and it has the odds, the Jets versus the Chargers, and you have
parlay card. Pick
and
2 or 3 games or whatever.
Right. And they used to use them, and it was $10 per person, and whoever won that week got the pool. So my part-timer was part of this pool with the butchers, all these Italian giddy butchers over at Pathmark. And they used to sit there every Monday and all the time, just Monday morning quarterbacking. Hey, who's on injured reserve? Hey, what's going on here? Who's going to win this? Is this home or is it away? Hey, it's a playoff game. Hey, he's new. Who's this guy? Who's that guy? All week long, these mother flippers would be in the break room with these tickets, right? Come Thursday, James, my part-timer, needed to fill out his ticket. James was off that day. So I'm like, all right, give me the ticket. I'll pick the teams.
Nice.
All right. Who has yellow or green in their uniform?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. New York Jets are going to win. Green Bay Packers. Yes. Let's see. Yeah, the Rams. They have more yellow than they say the Chargers. That's a push. We'll give that one there. Boom, boom, boom. Right. Run down the whole line. Whoever has more green or yellow. Guess who won the football pool that week?
I guess you did.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't me. It was James because it was his freaking ticket. Did the motherfucker give me any money for it? No. He took the he took the $120 and skidded.
Wow, that's cold. Anytime that's pool etiquette, by the way. Anytime you have a guy that's given up his time and stuff. Now there's a difference because I've been in large pools before. I'm talking where these pools get to be, $5-6 grand a week. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was personally responsible for 1 or 2 of those. So for whatever that means, I hope the statute of limitations says run out. But what I'm trying to say is it's if you're winning any kind of money over $100, the right etiquette there is to tip the guy who's running the thing, because chances are he's not getting anything out of it. He's like me. He's doing it because he wants to enter one, but he can't find one that he knows is firm, fair, and consistent.
Right.
So I put it together. I'm that guy. Okay, I'll do it. So
right.
Yeah.
Right.
We enjoy those.
I've seen it like the boxes. Usually the guy who runs the boxes gets like a box or two for free from himself.
For Super Bowl? Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Back in my dad's day, they used to have them for baseball games.
Oh, yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day for Yankees or Mets. And then, of course, football. It'd be once a week. He'd have boxes. And, I've won my fair share.
Well, once that one pool got up there, it was $20 a head, and we were running like $5 grand a week.
Wow.
So I mean, that's not bad. So my gig was, that I didn't pay $20. So it came up $20 short of what the number of people was. You know what I mean?
Right.
Anyway, it always came down to the final score in a game, and much like your situation, it was always some chick, Sally from accounting, who did the same system. She'd win.
Right.
And then And then, it's funny because my other half, Lisa, was on a couple of my shows, Mrs. Gator Mike, and she was on a couple of shows back in the day, like I'm talking 2011, 2012, when I was on terrestrial radio as well.
Right.
And she would call in and make her picks, and that's how she based them. Who had more yellow in their uniforms? I think a lion could beat a bear in a fight, so I'm going to take the lion.
I wish I was on a jet plane.
Yeah.
I wish I
I'd
had a
rather
better charge
vacation in
card.
Miami than in Washington.
Right. Yeah.
Crazy, dude.
What is a Seahawk? What?
Right. Well, I want to do the same thing because same but different. When I've walked there, I don't know why it's popped in my head, but have you ever been to a concert festival or a concert and seen somebody who was maybe just a tad younger than you, not a lot younger than you, but a tad younger than you, and they're wearing like a Motley Crue shirt? Or they're wearing a heavy metal band shirt. Have you ever wanted to go up to that person and go, name me 3 songs that band? I just think you're a freaking poser who got the thing at Hot Topic. Come on.
Well, it's like Kim Kardashian had her picture taken somewhere along the line with a Motley Crue shirt on. We're like, who are you joking? Who are you kidding?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Speaking of that, you got the big show coming up, right?
Yeah, it's tomorrow. And we're expecting rain.
Yeah, I saw that, about 50 some odd % chance.
Yeah, well, I've been watching it closely, and yesterday they were saying tomorrow is a 70% chance of rain, and this morning it said 70%. And then I looked at it, and it says we're getting 30% chance between 2 and 3, and then we're getting like another 30% chance at 9, 10, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. So by 9 o'clock, Motley will be off the stage, and Def Leppard will be back on. But you got to remember, weatherman is the only job you can have where you can be wrong all the time and keep your job.
Something's going on with your boy. I was going to talk about it in 128. What's his name from Poison? Brett Michaels.
Yeah,
had some sort of medical issue or something, and they
he's
canceled the Nashville show.
Yeah, no, they canceled the Poison portion of the Nashville show.
Well, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Which is interesting because they played Nashville yesterday, and Vince actually lives in Nashville, and Mick Mars, the guitarist of Motley Crue, lives in Nashville. So Nashville's the new Vegas.
Oh yeah, well, it's been that way for quite a while. My son would say that when he was up there. Whoa, my camera just went way wide. Hold on a second.
What's going on with that?
I don't know what happened there. Hang on.
Gravity.
I'm good.
All right. You're good. Yeah, Vegas became the new LA, and now Nashville's the new Vegas. So they're all in Vegas. Even though the lead singer of Firehouse lives in Celebration.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep. The singer of one of our wedding songs.
So you're a cruise guy. You like going on cruises.
Yeah.
Would you go on a cruise if it was in the sky?
You got to explain that a little bit.
According to interestingengineering.com. Now, I started looking at this, and they're presenting this as it's a real thing, and it's happening or going to happen, and they've got mocked up pictures and everything I'm going to put up here in post. But here's my deal.
Yeah.
They're saying, watch the nuclear-powered flying hotel that can stay airborne for years with 5,000 passengers. It's a concept video of Sky Cruise, a giant flying machine that can carry 5,000 passengers and has all the luxuries of the world, has gone viral on the internet. The maker of the video claims that such an aircraft built in the future would have no carbon footprint. So I'm just calling BS on this whole thing here.
No carbon footprint on Earth.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to have its own nuclear power plant on the ship with I want to see this thing lift off. I mean,
do they have to assemble it in space?
I don't know, dude. They're acting like this is an airplane in the sky, but it looks like a cruise ship.
Okay. Well,
it's got on each side. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 jet engines on each side. 2 double wings, one on top of the other. A glass atrium, open air type place in the middle. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 axles instead of your normal 2 axles on a plane. But it basically does. It looks like a cruise ship with wings.
Interesting. Now, here's the thing. On a cruise ship on Earth, you can go outside whenever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here in space, no.
And you can get off the boat at time, every other day or whatever. If you
Yeah.
want,
Yeah.
if you're stopped in port or whatever.
This cruise ship in space is not like stop by, Mars or Jupiter,
The concept of a floating world in itself is not new and has been described by Jonathan Swift's work from the 18th century, much before the Wright brothers made their first flight. Fans of animated movies might also have come across the concept in a 1986 Japanese movie called Castle in the Sky. Yada,
Okay.
yada, yada, yada. What can one expect on a Sky Cruise? Let's go there. It's just like a cruise, to what they're saying, dude. They're going to have cinema halls, theaters, game rooms, entertainment venues, places for people to get married and stuff like that, which I guess if you're trapped in a plane with somebody, it's bound to have a situation where you might have to get married, I guess. I mean,
Right. Now, is it like a 7-day cruise? Is that a 3-year cruise? How do you get to and from? Does it come back to Earth and it takes off each time?
they probably have all those answers here. Oh, sorry. It's powered by 20 electric engines, 10 on each side.
Wow.
Powered by nuclear fusion, the ship will be able to remain afloat for years altogether without carbon emissions. I don't see this happening, dude. I just don't. This is all fantastic. This is the Green New Deal right here. This is what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, if it does, it can happen. Like we've said in the
We've talked
past.
about it before. No one
Yeah.
does it until somebody says it can be done, and then somebody does it, and then 10 other people do it right after that.
Right. That's the Bannister effect.
The Bannister effect. I didn't know
Right.
that's what that was called.
Yes. You know who Roger Bannister is, right?
Name sounds familiar.
First
Plane
person.
jumping guy.
Now, first person to run a 4-minute
Oh,
mile.
4-minute mile.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was impossible. Couldn't be done. They said no one would ever do it. Well, Roger Bannister did it, and then shortly after, someone else did it. Then another person did it. Then hundreds of people are doing it. So yeah, he paved the way of hey, it can be done. I broke that barrier. Now everybody does the copycat thing. That's why
There's
a lot of times
there-
with go ahead.
Good.
A lot of time, like with things now, people being Karens and social media, school shootings. That's all the Bannister effect.
Yeah.
Well, one person did it. He said, "Well, if he did it, why can't I?"
Yeah, there was a couple decent comments here on YouTube where the video was where some were impressed with the vision of the aircraft. Many were skeptical whether something like this would even fly. One YouTuber pointed out that how big a runway would be needed for the cruise to take off, which would really be used for any ship. And then another one commented on the lack of any detail of the size of the ship, its weight or wingspan, and some of the fundamental parameters needed to make it fly. Says others were more sarcastic than critical, stating that they could see the Sky Cruise fly if physics and aerodynamics did not exist. And another said the concept was like putting together a Titanic with Hindenburg and then putting a nuclear reactor in it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I called bullcrap before I even saw this. So. See, that's what I do, folks. I look at this stuff so you don't have to. And if you come across it later on, you're like, oh, I heard Mike talk about that. That's bullshit. Keep moving. Yeah.
Right.
That's what I do. There's video of a UFO taking out a nuclear. Whoa. Yeah, I didn't want that audio. And I'll have it up here in post, but basically it's this rocket going up in the air and this thing flies all the way around it and it's like shooting this laser. It looks like something from a movie, actually. I mean, I just don't see how they could have done it, I don't know.
So are they suggesting it's a UFO from like someplace else?
Yeah, they're suggesting that because there's been UFO interference with our nuclear programs here and even in Great Britain. There's in the UK, there's documented cases of UFOs flying over an area where nuclear weapons were stored, and then sometimes they would even scan the area to see if the nuclear weapons were active. Did they have a warhead on them? Were they activated? All that stuff. So supposedly they're very interested in our nuclear capabilities, and this video shows a direct contact with a nuclear test fire shot that we had. And again, I don't know if I can believe it or not. You think it's possible?
Anything's possible. And, if it's unidentified flying object, it could be from anywhere,
Speaking of unidentified flying objects.
Yes.
Did have another chat with our girl, Blue Crystal in Phoenix. And I did have a couple viewers send in some questions. One of them was, has she ever been hospitalized? And she addressed that. So I'm not going to tell you what she said. You're going to have to go over and look at the video here. It's the 4th interview.
Yeah.
And then, I think there's some credibility with what she's saying and stuff. I don't think there's a situation where, and maybe I'm getting the wool pulled over my eyes. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I'm trusting this. I trust this person really believes that they are who they say they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I believe in Cleopatra. Yeah.
Is that what you're identifying now as, Mike? What's your pronoun? Is it she and her?
It's Shim.
Shim.
Yes.
Shim. Nice. Anyway, hey, more good news here after the UFOs are shooting our nukes down.
Okay.
You know how they want us to convert to all this battery technology? And we've talked about the lithium batteries being dangerous.
Right.
Well, in the post here, I'm putting up this video, but it's a video of all these lithium batteries on a public transportation bus all of a sudden going up in flames here. The lithium batteries caught on fire.
Yeah. Yep. Get yourself a Samsung Note 7.
It's in Paris. There's been 2 fires like this.
Wow.
It's crazy, dude.
2 in Paris alone?
Yeah. Well, they're all progressive with the, they bought into like a lot of our countries trying to buy in. We're being sold down the river with all this Green New Deal shit. This is what happens. This is what you get.
Yeah. No, it's dangerous, And granted, throwing flammable liquid inside of a car is dangerous too. But hell, they've done near perfected that.
I was going to say, after over 100 years, we kind of figured that shit out.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, they say that back in the day, there were electric cars, but they got squashed, and then they made a reappearance in the 70s. I think Honda or somebody had them, and they got squashed, and all of a sudden, and you couldn't, when they did that test run back in the 70s, you couldn't buy one. You had to lease it, and you had to turn it in at the end. You couldn't buy it. There was no option to buy it. Yeah. They were notorious for being crappy, and I guess what they didn't want was somebody else to hijack the technology. That's why they didn't want any around. Yeah, well, they probably made more money not making them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because when you consider that, oil companies have an expressed interest in that, and they're like, look, we'll give you $1 billion. Shut that shit down. Okay. I'm the guy in charge. I can work for another 10, 15, 20 years and hope to one day make that amount of money. Or I can just make this one move now, kill all these other people's jobs and shit, and then still get the same money. $1 billion or some shit.
Right.
If somebody offered you $1 billion to do something, would you take it? I mean, depending on what it was, of course.
Yeah,
right?
It depends on what it was, and the trustworthy of the person. Are they going to come through?
Do you think something like shutting down an electric car program is a moral issue or an ethical issue? Or do you think that if somebody was paid off to do something like that back in the 70s for a shit ton of money, they were justified in doing it?
Yeah, no, there's a morality issue there for sure. But, it's also a business decision, and it could be masked to me like a business decision.
That's an old line that a buddy of mine used in bars to pick up women. He would say, he would talk to one of them, and he would be like, "Hey, would you sleep with me for $50? Who the hell do you think I am? That's bullshit. I can't believe you would even say that." All right. Would you sleep with me for $1,000? You know, I can't believe you're saying that. Would you sleep with me for $20,000? Why are you saying this? Why are you offering me all this money? If I gave you $100,000, would you sleep with me tonight? No. If I gave you $1 million, would you sleep with me tonight? I guess 1 million. Okay, so we have established you're a fucking prostitute and a whore. We just have to negotiate the price now. And he would say this to women, and I'd be like, "Are you fucking kidding me, dude?" He's like, "Oh yeah, it works all the time." Works. Yeah, no, dude, no. Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, enough of that. Well, I had to get it. I felt like we were talking about bad stuff, you know, nuclear UFO being shot down, shooting down a nuke thing, lithium buses catching fire, Green New Deal.
Right. Women.
Yeah, it takes you right to the next page there. So supposedly, this is according to Dignata News 24, whatever that is. I think it's all fake here. It's a WordPress site. The secret mission of an ancient structure in Antarctica is revealed by a Navy SEAL. The military knows all about this. Apparently, it's Linda Moulton. She's been on a bunch of ancient alien shows and stuff. She's released video proof of the new informant outlining the top security duty in a gigantic ancient alien structure concealed beneath the ice of Antarctica. Now, we've talked about this before, and I'm going to put up pictures. Right. I got the actual digital pictures of access points and stuff like that in Antarctica. But I'm looking at some of these other pictures they're using, and it looked like it could be out of a high-tech video game or something. So I'm not going to buy into this, but I have said and I have speculated, and I do believe there could be some sort of shit going on in Antarctica. I mean, we have a lot of investment there. There's a lot of countries there, all with their flag in the ground. Don't tell me they're sitting out there checking the temperature all day. It's fucking cold. It's Antarctica.
Is that North Pole or South Pole?
That's South Pole, dude.
Oh. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of
Santa wouldn't let this shit happen in his backyard.
Yeah.
Besides, you could fit more elves in the North Pole than you can, you know, scientists in the South Pole.
Okay.
Elves are smaller.
Ah, okay. Is Antarctica smaller than Arctica? Is it Arctica? What's the other one? Antarctica and the Arctic, right?
Oh, you're in the Arctic Circle. Yeah, the Arctic, yeah.
Okay, so the Arctic Circle, North Pole, is not a continent, right? It's
correct.
The South Pole, it's Antarctica. That is a continent.
Yes.
Clear as mud.
Yes. So supposedly there's a lot of anomalies. There's some say that they've seen a pyramid.
Okay.
And when I mean a pyramid, it's now disguised and weathered as a mountain. I don't know. They're saying there's a bunch of stuff going on down there. So Navy SEALs are involved.
Baby SEAls?
Yeah.
Not baby SEAls?
No, not baby. Navy.
Navy SEAls.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We've had people there. Some people have gone into that area. This has all been happening since, you know, the Nazis were making this move down there back in the day. So anyway, check this, you know, do your own research. I'm not going to sit here and read the whole article for you, but I am going to tell you that I've been thinking about this for a while, that Antarctica and the ocean would be the most safest place, I think, for anybody to have a situation like this, like aliens. I mean, 2/3 of the planet's covered by water, and nobody wants to be in Antarctica. So that's the perfect place to hide.
Yeah, yeah, there's good reason not to go there. I'm sure it sucks.
They're saying the structure, that one of the structures they saw, they estimate to be about 33 million years old.
Okay.
And which by that standard era given by traditional geologists for when Antarctica was ice free.
Okay.
There's relics of ancient civilizations buried deep beneath the ice sheets. He claims to have seen this guy, Corey Good, and Pete Peterson. What a name. This must be true.
Right.
these guys are, I don't know. I didn't read all their qualifications and shit. But anyway, this guy claims to have been transported to Antarctica in early 2016 and early 2017 when he saw hidden bases and relics of ancient civilizations buried deep beneath the ice sheets. He claims to have seen the remains of human-alien hybrids made thousands of years ago as part of an extraterrestrial genetic experimentation conducted by a humanoid race.
Interesting.
Make a good movie.
Right?
Who would we put in this movie?
Nicolas Cage.
I think a Brad Pitt type situation.
Nicolas Cage with that kid from Transformers. What's his name?
Oh, I hate that guy. Shia LaBeouf. Oh,
Shia
my
LaBeouf?
God. That guy's a freaking train wreck, dude. You ever seen some of his videos?
No.
Oh, he's like one of these frigging raging friggin' lunatics that's out there protesting for everything and everybody. He gets hammered, shit-faced drunk, then he gets arrested at these things.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a total idiot. Total idiot. So remember we've been talking about Kiss and their
Multiple farewell tours.
shows. Yeah, multiple situations.
Yeah, we saw their farewell tour in 2000.
Yes, exactly. We saw one of the first ones.
Yep. So here we are 22 years later.
They're saying that this is the final farewell tour. And now he says they're going to add 100 cities to the tour. They're still going to push through 2023.
Wow. And here in the States or overseas?
Well, the End of the Road farewell tour, which began on the 31st of January in 2019 in Vancouver, British Columbia. This is according to Guitar.com. Had several altercations before landing on the previously announced final tour date on July 17th, 2021 in New York City. So it was going to come up. The addition of another 100 cities to the tour would presumably bring the tour's end past the 50th anniversary of Kiss's first show on January 30th next year.
Wow.
He's going on to talk about in other articles here that he's been pushed. Well, now that you're adding all these shows, is there any chance that Ace Frehley and Peter Criss can return to the lineup? And he said he doesn't think they have the physical stamina to do what they do. And
Really?
I'm like, dude, you don't have the fucking physical stamina to do
Exactly.
what you do. I just saw you, and I gave you a break. I talked about this.
Yeah.
And I get it. You're on a cash grab. You're always on a cash grab, Gene. I love it. I think it's great. People willing to pay money, take it. But come on, dude.
Yeah. They're doing 2 Kiss cruises this year. One Kiss cruise sold out, so they booked another one.
Yeah, now that you say that, I do remember that because I did look at that.
Yeah, they're actually in Europe right now. On Sunday, they're playing in Madrid, Spain, followed by France, Italy, Czechoslovakia, and the Netherlands. And then in September, they have one show in Louisville, Kentucky, and one in Sacramento, California in October. That's the only thing they have listed in Bands in Town, the app.
Well, according to Gene Simmons, this is a quote. This is a tour that will not stop until it stops. No shit.
Really?
You think?
It won't start until it starts either.
Jesus. Anyway, we're doing this on 4th of July weekend here. So this is interesting. Are you doing anything for 4th of July, Mike? Going anywhere, doing anything?
Yeah, we have no real plans. We were going to do the beach tomorrow, but then we realized, oh, hey, we got the concert. So yeah, I'm not gonna go out to the beach and try to be rushed around to.
So of course we're talking. In case anybody doesn't know, we're talking about the Motley Crue, Poison, Joan Jett, Def Leppard show.
Yeah, at the TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville, Florida.
Now, are you on the field or you're on
a?
Okay, and you have a seat on the field?
Yeah. It's all seats on the field, but you know how it is.
Yeah.
They have all the chairs zip tied together, but Mike.
Yeah,
gets
so
scared
guys
at.
like you don't do what you normally do.
Yeah,
Start stacking them.
fold up all the chairs within 20 feet and just hang out.
Well, if everybody in the whole row cooperates, I mean,
Yep. But yeah, it's supposed to start at 4:30 with a band called Classless Acts. They literally play for 15, 20 minutes. Then Joan Jett, followed by Poison, who plays for an hour. Then Motley, who plays for an hour and a half.
Are they going to play, do you think? Poison.
Who? Oh, Poison? Yeah. I was told by people who know, that they'll be playing tomorrow.
All right. So in a couple shows here, not 128, because we're going to do that. So in 129, can we have a review of the show?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Perfect.
Yep. We actually went ahead and purchased ponchos today on Amazon, and they will be in tomorrow.
Yeah,
because
perfect.
Because we're looking at a chance of rain. We were told in other stadiums that you're allowed to bring one bottle of water. So I'm like, oh, awesome. So last time we were at the store, we were at the Navy commissary in Jacksonville, and they had these nice big bottles of water, pretty bottle for like $1.86. So yeah, we'll get 2 of these and we'll bring them. So today the email comes, what you need to know before you go.
16 ounce or 12 ounce?
16.9 ounce is the biggest bottle you can bring. And I have like a liter and a half bottle to bring.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, should I bring it or should I just suck it up?
You know what? I would bring one of each. And let me tell you why. Because you've already bought them. That was already your plan. I would tell them that you have a medical condition, and you're required to have a drink of water every 6 minutes. There is a thing out there called POT or POTS. I don't know what it stands for. I haven't done any research on it. It's here we go. Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. It's a condition that affects blood flow. Lightheadedness, fainting, and uncomfortable rapid increase in heartbeat, then come on when standing up from a reclining. So I've had this happen to me before because of medication I'm on, but I don't think I have that syndrome. But that's what it's called, POTS or POTS. And basically you need to hydrate a lot more frequently than anybody else. And then you just take the other bottle that you can't bring, because if you tell them that, they'll probably let you bring in both bottles, actually. But if they don't buy it, and you toss the big bottle. Right. I don't know. It's wasteful. I get it. But
I'll give it to you. Here, Mr. Security Guard.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There's a system you can. I mean, I could put vodka in your water bottle for you and reseal the lid if you wanted. There's a way to do that.
Yeah, that I know. You need like an extra bottle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen it done.
So, have you ever been juice jacked?
No, only when I go to the gym.
Yeah. No. Oh, nothing after the massage? No, that's not what I'm talking about here.
Right,
juice jacking is when you go and you plug in your device. There's these charging stations in public places like airports or whatever. Do they have them on cruises?
No. The new cruise line Virgin might have it. They're progressive like that.
Well, I did look this up, and according to TechTarget.com, juice jacking is a security exploit in which an infected USB charging station is used to compromise connected devices. The exploit will take advantage of the fact that a mobile device's power supply passes over the same USB cable the connected device uses to sync data. So basically, they're telling you if you use one of these things, don't run it USB. Bring your little box.
Yeah, your cube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bring that and plug it in to a wall. Even that, I wouldn't plug it in that thing. I would plug it into a wall outlet somewhere. It sucks, but
yeah. No, I hear you. No, that makes total sense.
The attacker uses a USB connection to load malware directly onto the charging station or infect the a connection cable and leave it plugged in, hoping some unsuspecting person will come along and use the forgotten cable.
Yeah.
Wow. Juice jacking exploits work because the same port used for charging a device can transfer data. A USB connector has 5 pins, but only one is necessary for charging a connected device, and only 2 of the 5 pins are used in transfer data. This architecture allows an end user to move files between a mobile device and a computer while the mobile device is connected to the charger. Blah, 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 blah. All right. They make a USB condom.
Okay.
I didn't know this existed. Do I ask for those at the drugstore, or how do I get those?
You get those at the Fair Villa.
It says users can guard against juice jacking attacks by purchasing a protective attachment called a USB condom. Condom is a device that connects to a charging cable and sits between the device's charging cable and the public USB charging station.
Right.
The condom works by blocking the connections to all the pins in USB male connection except the pin that transfers power.
I was just going to say that, and that makes total sense.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. All right, so there's types of juice jacking attacks that they can identify already. Data theft, where somebody can get into your stuff and take all your data. Yeah, right? Nice. Malware installation, multi-device attack, and disabling attack. So, anyway, be careful with your shit. Don't just... I do have a funny story to piggyback on this, though.
Okay.
Buddy of mine had a job in the financial industry. I'm not going to give you names or anything like that. And he was sitting in his office, and a customer had come in to do business with him. And while they were doing business, talking about stuff, she said, "Oh my gosh, my phone is dying. Can I plug it in?" And she hands him the USB. So he plugs it into his computer, and she gets the information she needed to get and lays the phone back down. He's looking in her files. He finds all these nude selfies and shit, and he's like fucking downloading them right in front. She's on the other side of the computer screen, and he's all looking at her nude photos on her phone. And I'm thinking, wow. So years later, we're at their wedding, and no. Don't do that, people. Don't.
Right?
Why would you do that? Here's access to all my shit.
Yeah, because you think it's private. You know, people are dumb.
But nowadays, even like the Android phone, it's powered by Google stuff, and Google stores all the information. So guess what I use because it's convenient on my home computer? The Google, and it keeps all the shit from the phone to the... Yeah, don't, people, stop.
Exactly. Yeah, like you like Android phone, you can save your pictures on Google. And like you get a daily thing of, hey, here's your pictures from last year today on Google. The thing is, the screenshots you take are uploaded to Google. You know, all that stuff. So if you're like taking a screenshot of something nefarious, you know, it ends up on Google in your freaking little account.
Yeah, I'm already red flagged everywhere, so I'm not worried. Anyway, hey, when you went to Disney, did you use this Genie thing? I know we talked about this before.
Yeah. And that's what I got refunded because it was a complete piece of crap.
Well, they say the company, this is a new thing, a new follow-up article to that situation, that the company got rid of the free FastPass Plus and replaced it with 2 paid services that keep evolving. This is according to TheStreet.com. Just talking about the changes in Disney and the changes to this plan. Here's my question, Mike.
Yes.
Did you if it was working, did you think you would feel better about it? I mean, again, tell me about your experience, and then tell me about the follow-up briefly, and then tell me what it needs to do.
I bought it for the fact that it was $15 a person, which I thought was awfully cheap. I was like, all right, $15 for something that used to be free. Not bad. I'll take it. So I'm thinking that there's a separate line, and there always has been a separate line for FastPass. I'm thinking, okay, you go into the park and you go on that line. Well, guess what? It's all in the app. It's all on your phone, and you're supposed to make reservations with your FastPasses. Well, we get there 9 o'clock in the morning because I-4 was shut down, and I go ahead and open up the app. and I start making reservations, and it's not being very clear on what I'm actually doing. And it says, okay, go to Buzz Lightyear. So we go to Buzz Lightyear, and this thing isn't working. It's because all of the reservations I was trying to make were filled for the day until 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night. So it's making suggestions. Well, Buzz Lightyear doesn't have a long line. I thought my reservation for Buzz Lightyear was ready to happen. So we go there, and it's not happening. We were able to finagle getting into some of the rides until I figured out actually what was happening. And when I figured out what was actually happening, as in everything was full for the day by 9 o'clock in the morning, I immediately went to guest services and said, this is a piece of crap. And he goes, well, I agree, but don't tell the mouse. I agree, but don't tell the mouse that. And and he refunded my my money on all three of them without issue, without even batting an eye. He refunded it.
Well, they know, and they're like, yeah, if somebody complains, just give them their shit back. If somebody doesn't complain, that's fine. We'll keep the money,
Right.
Says they're updating all this. They're going to change everything up and upgrade it on July 17th. They're going to do some upgrades to it or whatever. But under the old Fast Pass system, park visitors could make reservations for times to ride various rides or attractions either 30 or 60 days before the date of visit, depending on whether they were staying on property. Under the system, you can make 3 reservations, and then you can make another if one was available once those 3 had been used. The new Fast Pass system consists of 2 parts. First, there's Genie Plus, which gives the equivalent of a Fast Pass experience for some rides, attractions, character spots, and events for $15 per person per day. You can only make one selection at a time and select rides that are in the Genie Plus system. The rides that are not offered on Genie Plus, basically the newest and most popular ones, can be reserved through the standalone Lightning Lane system. See, this is their...
Yeah, it's too confusing.
Yeah, stop.
I want to go on a ride. I don't want to change the world.
Yeah, I'm not here to think. You're supposed to have this shit handled. Right. And you dealt with Disney guests before. They're not thinking half the time.
No. The thing that we always said was, well, their brain is on vacation too.
Well, do you know what the number one question is that's asked in the Magic Kingdom?
What time is the 3 o'clock parade?
That is absolutely 100% true. Ding, ding, ding. You win the Cupid doll. Yes. I mean, I used to, when I was working in the Magic Kingdom as a teenager, people used to ask me that, and I would tell them stupid shit. 3:45, 4:15, 2:48. You better get there early.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think what they really mean to say is, what time has it come by this point where we're standing? Because it goes the whole park. But
exactly.
When you say what time's the 3 o'clock parade, I initially look at you and go, you aren't just another pretty face, are you?
You've never been accused of being the sharpest tool in the shed, right?
Jesus. So at the Orlando Museum of Art, the FBI is investigating. Have you heard about this?
Yes, there was a raid. Yep.
They fired the general manager of the Orlando Museum of Art. Apparently, the search warrant was used to remove Heroes and Monsters exhibit from the Orlando Museum of Art detail for the reasons for suspicions surrounding the authenticity of the collections. The paintings were part of the Mumford collection, were purported to be created in 1982 by Jean-Michel Basquiat. I saw a movie about this guy years ago.
Really?
Officials explained that the paintings have been under investigation since 2012. Wow. Investigation has revealed false information related to the alleged prior ownership of the paintings. The documents revealed ownership and discrepancies with the number of paintings in the exhibition. Yada, 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 yada. Anyway, it's a
big deal. Now, here's the thing. What I did hear about it is this guy used to do his paintings on the back of Federal Express cardboard boxes.
Okay.
And I guess I'm guessing he's not alive anymore.
No.
And this particular series of paintings were said to be done at a certain time, a certain era. But the cardboard boxes that were used, I guess if you turn it over, you can see where it says Federal Express. And he said the pattern that is on the box on the back was not used until after his death. So these boxes were created after his death. But
Yeah.
they were supposedly painted before.
Well, that's like you know, and you may recall the story. I won't get into it now, but Tupac Shakur, the rapper, I met him at a Georgia rest stop years after his purported death. But years after his death, somebody was putting out, the record companies, they're friggin' whores. They put out like a collection series CD
Demos and unreleased items.
So they put that out, and somebody was on eBay selling an autographed copy. I was like, really, bro? Come on. Come on, man. So this Orlando Museum of Art CEO and director, Aaron DeGroff, is out of a job following the FBI's raiding of the museum last week.
Yeah.
The most intriguing thing about this whole thing is the FBI was like looking at their emails and shit because he added, we have no doubt we stand by it, their original, this guy says. He added that it's not the OAM, Orlando Museum of Art. It's not their job to authenticate the art. They came to us authenticated by the top specialist on Basquiat. The FBI search warrant said an art professor was paid approximately $60,000 to write a report on the collection, but the professor later found out that her report was being used publicly with the exhibit. So she sent an email to the museum director saying, I am no way authorized to authenticate unknown works and want no involvement in the show. The next day, this DeGroff said, you want us to put out there that you got $60,000 to write this? Okay, then shut up. You took the money. Stop being holier than now. You did this not to me or anybody else. Be quiet now is my best advice. They are real and legit. You know this. You are threatening the wrong people.
Yep. I heard about that. And yeah, that was I
would never think that this would occur. Would you ever think that this was a possibility?
Well, yeah, why not? But in Orlando, it's how important can it be? To ride this lie out.
Well, they say that with the fakes, frauds, and forgeries in the art world, it's a terrible situation. That 75% of the art crime industry in the world, which is a $6 billion industry, deals in frauds, forgeries, and fakes. Not theft. It's frauds, forgeries, and fakes. $6 billion industry, dude. That's why it happens.
Yeah. Unreal. I tell you, I go to school. I went to school with a kid back in high school. You would probably remember. I don't know if they did it down here in Florida, but you have denim jackets, and there'd be like a painting on the back of an album cover or a band or something. Yeah. Well, this kid that I went to school with did them all the time. And
nice.
They were really good, like excellent. And now he's full time. He's an artist. That's what he does.
Wow.
And he'll do it with these little brushes and stuff. And dude, he's amazing painting that he does. And I'll share it on both mics, but the both mics Facebook page. But Bobby Girardi, Bob or Robert Girardi now. I know him as Bobby. Amazing freaking painter, unbelievably authentic, and it looks like you're looking at a photograph. That's how good his photos are, or his paintings are. So yeah, it is pretty cool. And with the cruises, they have art auctions, and we used to go to the art auctions just for the free champagne, and
sure.
And now we kind of dabble. A couple things in the house here are prints of famous stuff that we actually got on cruise ships. So it's kind of cool.
Nice.
I think the art salesmen are very much like a used car salesman in a way that a certain way they hold themselves. They carry themselves a certain way.
Nice.
But we like it. We enjoy it.
Like a blanket statement about. But I've been in that industry, Mike. I resemble that remark.
I don't know if all salesmen have a switch where like you don't seem that way to me, but I'm sure you have a switch where you turn it on, turn it off.
Yeah, and I don't turn into that guy like, all right, now I'm used car sales guy. How are you?
How are you? Come on
Hey,
down,
Stanley
hey.
Kowalski, Mike Polinsky, how are you? You know, no.
No.
Not
But
like that.
I often describe you as someone who can sell ice to Eskimos.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, maybe that's what I need to start doing.
Selling
I'll
ice.
go down to Antarctica and start selling ice. All right, have you tried to book a flight lately? Have you known anybody that's been flying lately on the airlines here in this country?
The only flight I booked lately is one for work for that training that I was supposed to go to. I was supposed to come back from training today, and it was canceled because of the downturn in the mortgage industry. So that's the only flight I've had booked.
Well, Delta Airlines are picketing now outside airports across the country. A lot of flights are delayed and canceled ahead of the 4th of July weekend. The off-duty pilots, this is according to NewYorkPost.com, so it must be true. The off-duty pilots protested for higher wages and more time off as a crushing demand for air travel threatened to muddle up vacation holiday plans. Passengers were faced with 3,165 delays and 444 cancellations in the U.S. as of 1 p.m. on Thursday, according to FlightAware.com. Delta alone suffered 307 delays and 89 cancellations, ranking second amongst U.S. airlines in total cancellations. Outside the JFK airport, Delta pilots complained that the lack of employees is due to cuts amid the COVID-19. Oh, my God, stop. Anyway, there's a bunch of pictures. These guys are all striking. A lot of these guys are saying they work too much.
Pilots.
I don't know what their day is, but
yeah, a pilot is a good paying job, and you would think that if you're a pilot, you'd want to work. So, like, how are they shorthanded on pilots where 2 years ago they weren't? Did like a bunch of pilots they just retire and they never replace them? I don't get it,
Well, this guy who's a Delta pilot, David Adler, says, we basically shut the airline industry down for a couple years. When I was out there flying, there were not a whole lot of passengers out there flying, this Delta pilot, David Adler, said. Now, all of a sudden, we're basically tooling back up again, so it takes a little time to go ahead and do that. Picketing pilots outside several major airports, including Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is all over the country, dude. Crazy. Yeah. And then you know how it goes when you get a flight that runs through a major hub like that, like Atlanta or somewhere, right. That affects everything else. It's like a ripple effect.
Yep. People are missing their connections. That's why when I fly, I try to get the first flight out in the morning. Usually the first flight in the morning, knock on wood, people tell me all these horror stories about canceled flights and this, that, and the other thing. I've had a couple delayed flights. I've had one flight where everybody got off because a scheduled repair needed to be made, and I've been late for a flight. I missed a connection because of a flight being late. But yeah, I've heard stories of people waiting hours on airplanes to take off, and waiting 2-3 hours on the tarmac when they arrive just to get a gate. Because there's planes just parked there because of canceled flights. They can't get a gate to get off the plane, and that makes them late for their connections.
Crazy.
And like everybody, I'm fans of nonstop flights. If you can get a nonstop over a connection somewhere,
yeah.
All connections, Atlanta, Houston, and Dallas. Everything connects through there from.
Well, just before we wrap up here, I did have a Facebook friend of mine get stranded in Vegas. He was like, oh, darn, they canceled my flight. What am I going to do?
Right.
All right. So listen, we're gonna run out here. Make sure you check out our next episode, though, 128. Yes. This is 127, which is still inconceivable to me that this shit show's running this long. But check out my friends. Check out Gino Losi if you want to catch some big fish. Check out Dustin Levine at the Melon Patch Theater in Leesburg. And check out my friend Night Fan Stan at Jet Set Printing for all your printing needs in Central Florida. Mike, anything?
Have a Coke and a smile.
There you go. We'll see you in the next episode here. Thanks for joining us today.
Ciao.